What's up, guys? Coach Rob coming at you from Rob Brett's Fitness and Performance with your tidbit of the day. Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite spices and one of what I think is just an absolute superfood or super spice, if you will. It's just an absolute butt kicker, has a lot of benefits to it. And a lot of people don't know the benefits of this spice. It's a spice that most of us just have chilling in our houses and we use it here and there. But I really suggest getting, at least a teaspoon of this in daily. Can you guess what it is? It would be cinnamon. And what's funny is you can put it on many things without even tasting it, really. You know what I mean? So we're going to have an awesome chat about cinnamon today. Stay tuned. I'm about to throw tons of facts at you. All right, guys, let's dig into this tidbit, this awesome spice that is called cinnamon that I love so much. So I'm going to give you like my 5 top benefits of cinnamon here. And technically 4, because the first one is just putting out, the blatant overall benefit of it. So first off, we have 2 different types of cinnamon. We have Ceylon cinnamon, which is true cinnamon. This is going to be 50 to 60% cinnamaldehyde in the oil. All right, 50 to 60% of the oil from this cinnamon will be cinnamaldehyde. The second one is cassia cinnamon. This is the more common one, and this is the one that most people refer to as cinnamon. This one will be 91% cinnamaldehyde, is what the oil will be made of. So 50 to 63% cinnamaldehyde in the oil, 91% cinnamaldehyde in the oil. That really doesn't come into play unless you're really taking over 2 teaspoons a day, which we'll get into later. This one's going to be cheaper. The cassia and the Ceylon is going to be a little bit more expensive. This one's going to have less, not as strong of a flavor or a smell because of the lower percentage. This one tends to have a stronger smell and flavor. It also tends to be a little bit thicker. So anyway, moving on, we'll get into when that really comes into play later at the end. So again, like I said, the number 1 fact here is literally just telling you guys how awesome this is. My number 1 fact here is it has powerful medical properties, which we're going to get into over here a little bit later on. So it is just very good. It's going to help us in many different ways. It has a strong smell. Even this one has a stronger smell and flavor, a very distinct smell and flavor because of the oil, because it has cinnamaldehyde in it. The cinnamaldehyde is the compound that is believed to give it all of its just awesome benefits, all of its powerful benefits and antioxidant and fungal fighting properties. Number 2, moving on to fact number 2, going back to my last tidbit of the day, which was type 2 diabetes. It helps insulin sensitivity, and it has anti-diabetic effects, guys. This is awesome. This is another tool that we can use to help us with our health, with fighting that diabetes if you're someone that's pre-diabetic or something like that. The ways it helps is it reduces glucose in the blood post-meal. It interferes with our digestive enzymes, slowing carbohydrate breakdown, slowing those carbs being turned into sugars. Not stopping it, just slowing it down, calming our body down, telling us to take a step back, which then doesn't load our bloodstream with as much sugar. It mimics insulin, improving glucose uptake to the cell. So this literally tricks the body and says, hey, I'm insulin. Let me help you. Let me help you get this sugar into the cell. Now, it acts slower than insulin, which is good. Again, it affects those enzymes, slowing down that cell breakdown. But after it slows it down, it's also mimicking insulin and helping the cell intake the sugar and pass it through so that we don't become hyperglycemic. It also reduces our fasting blood glucose levels by 10 to 29%. Wow, guys, that is huge. 10 to 29% fasting blood glucose levels being dropped that much. That's absolutely insane, man. That is crazy. That's helping keep that number 100 in our bloodstream that I was talking about last week. The body wants to regulate us at 100 and it can go a little lower, but we definitely don't want to be higher. It also helps metabolic syndrome, insulin sensitivity, which we're talking about, blood pressure, and our lean body mass. All right. What metabolic syndrome is it's most easily explained. It's a compound of a bunch of different diseases. It's a compound of, high blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, high body fat. It's a compound of a couple different diseases in one, not just one disease. That's why it's called metabolic syndrome. It's a bunch of different diseases that have to do with your syndrome. Just to put it in short, simple terms for you. If you really want to look into that, you can. There's just a laundry list of diseases that go into that metabolic syndrome. So that's number 2, helping those diabetic effects, man. We don't want to become diabetic, and if you get type 2 diabetes, you literally gave it to yourself. You gave yourself that disease. You said, hey, I need this disease. I'm going to give myself it. And most people who get it are warned by their doctors, and they just keep living the lifestyle, and that's you. That's just a dumb move. Fix it now. Get on it. It's not something you want. All right, so then we're going to jump up here to number 3. This is a pretty cool one. It helps to fight neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, guys. It helps fight these things. It prevents the buildup of the protein called, I think it's pronounced tau, which is a hallmark of Alzheimer's. So it helps prevent the buildup of that, keeping us from getting too much. It protects our neurons, and it also normalizes our neurotransmitter levels. And it has also been shown to improve our motor function. Now, a lot of these effects here for the Alzheimer's and Parkinson's were studies done on mice, not humans. It has shown great benefits on mice. There's not been many studies done on humans, if really any at all, that I didn't really see, but it is showing great benefits for mice. And typically when it helps mice, it translates to people. I'm sure there's some studies coming out on that, but hey, it can't hurt, right? If it's giving us these other benefits, why not throw it in there? And it may help with that. None of us want Alzheimer's or develop Parkinson's, So, next, number 4, another super cool one. It helps protect against cancer. It helps slow down or stop the growth of our cancer cells, okay? It decreases the growth of our cancer cells. It decreases the formation of blood vessels in the cell. And it also has been shown to be toxic to the cancer cell itself. Toxic, meaning causing death to those cancerous cells, which is good. We don't want them. We want to kill them off. So that's another really, really cool one. Not going into all the science about it, just giving you the facts here. So that's a great one. And there have been studies on that with humans and with animals that do show very good benefits. Then we're going to move on to number 5, which I threw in here mostly because I just thought it was super cool. The one part of it. The antioxidants, I definitely wanted in here, but I added it fights fungal and bacterial infections. It helps to fight fungal and bacterial infections. A lot of due to the antioxidants and stuff in it and all the other good things that we have in it. So it protects against the buildup of free radicals. What free radicals are oxygen molecules in the body that have not paired with an electron. All right. So they're just causing damage in the body, and typically that damage is aging effects. All right. As we get older, we have trouble battling against these free radical cells in our body. They happen. Our body has more trouble as we get older fighting them, which causes wrinkles, which just causes all the effects of aging. Hair brutality, being sore and stiff. Just all the signs of aging, muscular deterioration, weakness, things like that. So it helps fight against those free radical cells, and it helps keep our body pepped up, lively, and reacting and battling them because we don't want them. It has a powerful antioxidant in it called polyphenols. That's the main antioxidant in it that helps everything. Not going to go into the breakdown of them, but that's the antioxidant if you want to know it. Out of 26 spices that were studied, out of 26 spices, and a lot of them are called super spices or superfoods, that were studied to fight, that had studies done on their antioxidants and, bacterial and fungal infection fighting, cinnamon was the clear winner of that, the clear winner. There was a second place, but it wasn't even close. It destroyed all the other spices, all 25 of those other spices, including garlic and oregano, which are two spices that a lot of people know and know benefits of and rant and rave about, and this just absolutely destroyed them because of everything that it can do. Cinnamon oil has also been shown to treat respiratory infections, which is super cool, fighting respiratory infections. And it's also been shown to inhibit the growth of listeria and salmonella. All right, so it helps just counter that, inhibit it. So if you are eating lots of chicken and stuff and it might not be quite done, but you're getting, cinnamon with it, it's going to help battle that and help you keep from getting that, which you should cook your chicken enough. Make sure you're doing that. We don't want to need to take cinnamon to counter those effects, all right, guys? It is also so powerful because of the antioxidants. It's a natural food preservative. It can preserve foods because of all those antioxidants in it and just all the benefits of them. And it has also been shown, and I'm going to say it may help tooth decay and bad breath. The bad breath I can see. I mean, cinnamon smells great. You throw that in your mouth. I don't think you could really have bad breath. But it's also been shown to fight tooth decay in some studies, which is super cool. I mean, everybody can use that nowadays, especially because there's sugar and stuff in everything. So any extra, teeth protection we can get is great. We want that. So that's just some of the benefits of the antioxidants and the bacterial and fungal infection fighting that it can do. Especially the main one I think is the fighting the free radicals here, man. They can be very damaging to the body, especially for someone that hasn't really taken care of your body the best, you know what I mean? And your body's already having issues and having to do other things. You probably have a bunch of free radicals in your body running around, not making you feel the best. All right. So now we're going to get into our dosages and side effects, if there are any. I don't know, there might not be. So dosage, if you are going to start taking this daily, a half a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons a day is good, all right? That's all we need to get all these benefits. I'd say about a teaspoon's fine. Sprinkle some on your chicken, steak, whatever you want. The side effects, and this is where these two are going to come into play. If you're doing over, they say 1 to 1.5, 2 teaspoons a day. If you're doing, if you're taking every day, taking a teaspoon or more, you're probably going to want to go with this Ceylon or the Ceylon cinnamon, just because there is something in that cinnamon called coumarin, which can be toxic to the body in large doses, okay? And the cassia cinnamon has a higher amount of the coumarin. Coumarin has been shown to lead to kidney, liver, and lung damage, okay? Again, in high dosages. Usually they say over a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons a day, around 2 or more a day, and you're gonna get those, you could get these effects. Again, kidney, liver, and lung damage. Now, I do need to specify that the only time that these side effects have been recorded were in isolated incidents where cinnamon and cinnamon intake were being studied. So I won't want to say it was deliberate, but it was studies that they were doing to try to find out the benefits and the side effects. And when you're trying to find out side effects, you got to push the dosages to figure out what the max is, okay? So again, it's not the cinnamon itself, it's the coumarin in it, or the coumarin. I have trouble pronouncing that one. The coumarin. So just to show you the difference, the main difference in these two, the Ceylon and the cassia. The cassia cinnamon contains 1% of the coumarin in its oil, so 1%. All right, which can add up to a good bit, especially when you hear how much the Ceylon cinnamon has in it. So the Ceylon cinnamon has 0.004% coumarin in its oil. That is 250 times less. All right, less coumarin. So that's a huge difference. That is a massive difference. And one of the biggest things with this coumarin is they actually have recently lowered the daily maximum amount that you can take, your daily maximum intake. It used to be 0.5 milligrams per pound of body weight. And I think then that would equal to it was 0.5 milligrams per pound, and then 1 milligram per kilogram, I think, per kilogram of body weight. But it recently was lowered to 0.05, huge drop, 0.05 per pound of body weight, which equals out to, I think, 0.5 per kilogram. And if you don't know, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So it's a little over double 1 pound. That's why, 0.5 goes to, 0.5 or whatever per kilogram. But again, they just dropped it. They dropped it from 0.5 milligrams per pound to 0.05 milligrams per pound. So that just goes to show that, those studies that they have shown that coumarin can be very bad for you. But again, it has to be high dosage. You got to be taking, 2 teaspoons a day to push those limits. Now, if you are someone that's really liking cinnamon and the benefits of it, just switch. Spend a little more. Get that Ceylon cinnamon. You'll be fine. 250 times less. You would have to take tons of that to get toxic amounts of this coumarin in you. So that would be the only side effect. And again, those were isolated incidents in studies when it has been shown in humans. I take regular cinnamon, the cassia cinnamon, every day. Again, but I'm only taking about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half. Sometimes I sprinkle some on my eggs. I like ketchup with my eggs, so you don't even taste it. I put it on my steak every time I make a steak, both sides. You don't even taste it, man, especially with the other spices. And I use Worcestershire, so that could be why I don't taste it. My chicken, I always throw some on the top of my chicken anytime I cook chicken breast or chicken thighs. It's just a good, simple way to get it in. Again, you don't even taste it, especially if you're using a little barbecue sauce or eating it with vegetables, which you should be eating your meat with vegetables. You don't taste it at all. If you're a coffee drinker, throw a little bit in your coffee in the morning. Most coffee drinkers drink 2 or 3 cups, throw a little bit in each cup, and you're going to start getting those benefits from this cinnamon. Cinnamon is an awesome super spice. Again, it beat out 25 other spices in a huge study for the medical properties and all the other benefits that we can get from it. So that is just a little breakdown of the awesome spice called cinnamon. Got a little ahead of myself at times, lost my train of thought. That's okay. I love this spice. It's something I take every day. I am a true believer in it. Don't be going and doing the cinnamon challenge and trying to take 3 teaspoons or tablespoons at once. That's not good. Again, we don't want that much. We want a max of 2 teaspoons a day, and we don't want to choke and cough on it. We want to get the benefits of it, all right? We want to fight cancer. We want to battle neurodegenerative diseases. We want to fight fungal infections. We want to beat insulin sensitivity. We never want to have diabetes. And we just want to be healthy, guys. So, again, lost my train of thought. But again, get that cinnamon in, add it into your diet. It will benefit you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope I didn't throw too much at you. I can't wait to bring you the next one. I will see you next time. And as always, stay fit.